Washington Commanders at the New England Patriots. What a game. Patriots favored by 3.5 here against the Commanders, who just reshuffled the deck here, traded Montez Sweat and Chase Young. And, man, I can't believe we mentioned Mike Florio's name multiple times on this show. Mike Florio. So he's kind of like an insider.
No,
Mike,
he's not.
But he's not. He just kind of like makes stuff up sometimes too. So a thing he made up this week was, what if the New England Patriots traded Bill Belichick to Washington?
Yeah, where did that come from?
From Florio.
But it was literally just like, here's an idea I had?
Yeah. I mean, Schefter does, like, you ever hear Schefter on McAfee?
Yeah.
Yeah, so McAfee's like, in addition to being main event WrestleMania wrestler,
Yeah.
all-pro punter.
Right. Punter of the decade.
Punter of the
PFF,
decade.
Punter of the decade.
Also a great interviewer, right? He knows the questions to ask. So when he asks Schefter a question, looking for some inside info, when Adam doesn't have the information, he just sounds like us. It's like, well, Bob Kraft might be thinking this, and they might be thinking about this, and here's another option. It's like, that's not inside info. That's just us. That's it's kind of what Florio's doing with this, I think.
But usually there's like, I've heard this thing. Now let's speculate about it. This was literally just like, here's a crazy idea I had. Let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Because even, not Florio, I'm not, there's people way worse than Florio. But that's what, people have made entire careers off of this by saying, I spoke to some players who believe this thing, which happens to be the thing that I believe, and all I had to say was some other players also believe this thing, and now I turned it into a story.
But there's at least like...
People do that. That's their entire career. Spoke to some players, unnamed sources. I'm going to write a whole story about it and claim that 4 or 5 players agree with me.
But there's theoretically a seed to that, which is a player whose opinion we're supposed to care about because they're relevant individuals shares this opinion. Therefore, it's validation. It's legitimizing the thing that I want to talk about in the first place. And sure, I've like found the source that
I'll call people out on that one too.
Yeah,
Mike Freeman.
But my point being, theoretically, there's a legitimate basis for writing that thing. Whereas this is literally just, I had a crackpot idea that I've decided we should talk about. There's no legitimate basis for that.
No, we probably shouldn't even talk about this.
We definitely shouldn't.
But the game isn't all that interesting.
Well, so okay, Sam Howell, sack magnet. Even with the 1 sack game last week, the man is still being sacked an average of more than 5 times a game. Now goes up against New England, Bill Belichick, confusing defense, and a team that relies in not necessarily having like elite pass rushers, but on causing you enough problems with your protections and all those kinds of things to sack you anyway. So the most that he's been sacked in a game this season was 9 times against Buffalo. After that, there's 2 games with 6. Over-under sacks for Sam Howell, 6.
Under.
Under?
Yeah, he's turned it around.
What? Because of the 1 game?
Yeah. 2.4 time to throw. They figured out how to get the ball out of his hands.
I'm going to say Bill Belichick finds a way of sacking Sam Howell at least 6 times.
All right, fair. New England does, they look good at home a couple weeks ago against Buffalo. Man, home road. A lot of home road stuff here. Struggled in Miami because they always do. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll be better.
Okay.
New England should play a little bit more competitive, I think, in the second half of the season than they did earlier in the year. That's my thought.
Okay.
But yeah, Sam Howell, still intriguing because when he chucks it, it's good.
I love watching Sam Howell. It's not always good. It's often chaotic. It's strange. And I just think it's great to watch.
Josh Allen light.
Josh Allen
light version of Allen fun factor. All right, I'll take the Patriots to cover the 3.5 here. And I don't think they'll trade Bill Belichick to Washington.